John Bosco talks about how he usually sings the new song, does the new sessions before going to bed, and on this particular night, he did the new song and then went to bed. And then he had a dream. He had an inner real sad experience accompanied by somebody whom he could not recognize. And then they seem to have visited places. Now, they first went. They visited a place where he met his friends from infancy. So, and he realized that where they were not doing well, and they looked, in a miserable state somewhat. And then they saw him. He looked very, very okay and happy. So they asked him his secret, and he said he was because he was doing the new song. And then from there they moved on to another scene where he went. They visited family members. He even saw his deceased, his translated mother, and other family members, And then from there, his guide proceeded to where there was a body of water, and asked him to whether he could see anything in the water. He said he could not make out anything. So he pointed into the water, asked him to look into the middle of the water, and then a brilliant light appeared, and some resplendent scenes, and he was so marveled. Then they moved on to another more magnificent scene, and his guide could conjure these scenes, for him to see. And this second abode was more elevated and more beautiful, sparkling with lights, houses, and everything. So he was wondering what he would do to enter into that very beautiful and glittering world. And so he finally discovered that, as he says, he came to the conclusion that it is the real guides, a real guide was making him, taking him through the various some levels of life, because this second scene was much higher. The first one was on the astral plane. He could make it out, you see. So was showing him life on various levels. So that is his conclusion. I don't know whether I omitted anything. Maybe Josiane can help there. Josiane?
Okay, yeah. Okay, in the second part, it says like it was like in the paradise. Is that what he said? Like it was beautiful,
Yeah.
like in the paradise, like people call it here. So in the third part, it was like in another different, like beautiful city, and yeah, all lights everywhere. And then he asked to the guy, how come he can like everything appear here, like in the middle of the sea? So he said the guy, they told him that it's hidden from, like, because we're talking about the reptilian or all these bad people, like it's really hidden from them. Only the real people can see all those good places. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what the guy was telling him. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. So then I don't know whether you can throw some light on this dream, this real side experience.
Yeah, what is basically taking place is you see the procession of this individual's life, and he starts off with those relationships that he knew, and he moves on through. And yes, he recognized the astral worlds, which is the watery part, which is creation, and then into eventually an aspect of the real universes. And so what this is, what is being shown here, it's not about places and things so much, but it's about comparison. In other words, we've come through creation, we've come through these relationships, and so again, all the guide can do is show the individual, once he's earned his way, the difference between all these, and the person then decides. It's really comparisons is what it is. And so eventually the person recognizes his relationship with the true reality, the all is. So yes, this is the first part, many parts, and we go through a lot of experience until we can stand 100% real with the true reality life is, because that makes sense. But in the meantime, we're going through this process, and for me, the easiest way to see it is through comparisons. It's not about likes and dislikes. It's not like, oh, okay, I don't like that, or I like this, or whatever. It's really comparisons to eventually recognize the true reality life is. And it's not really necessarily, as he's going through this process, these are like places also that have taken place in his life. In other words, he was here, there, whatever. It's not about places either. It's about recognition. So again, he's just simply going through his process. He's shown certain things. Many people have they have experiences in the real universes. They really do. They see these places, they talk about them, but they still don't really see what's taking place. That becomes it, because again, when the individual does truly recognize and stands real there, well, that becomes their reality, their being. That's their intent, and this is what's very, very important, as opposed to just going to a place and having an experience. But again, the way I see it is that the guide is showing him and seeing if he'll wake up to see and compare the differences. So that's one way to look at it.